real quick before we go any further, I have looked everywhere for ending cinematic shots and I cannot find them. You guys know that little ending cinematic portion I do at the end of every single video? Yeah, I don't know where this footage went, but I have looked through heaven and earth and I cannot find it anywhere. So in this video, we're not going to have an ending cinematic, but just pretend like we did. By the end of the video, you can kind of put together how nice the Jeep is. I mean, it really is a beautiful vehicle when it's all cleaned up and good to go. Just usually I have that, and I think there's only been one time else that I haven't had the footage, and it's just such a defeating feeling. But as things do, we're gonna go ahead and move on with the video anyways. My hand's up over here holding a light because this light's not really good enough to even out this whole shadow part of my face. But guys, real quick though, if you do want to help me out, go ahead and press like real quick, go ahead and press subscribe, and go ahead and ring that bell. That way you know every single time I upload. If you like detailing content, go ahead and stick around with me and my high quality content production. Without taking any more of your time at the beginning of this video, as ridiculously as this beginning has been, let's go ahead and get on with the video, because yeah. So a little behind the scenes with this Jeep and why it's so dirty. Where I'm from here in Florida is Polk County. I'm dead smack in the middle, right between Tampa and Orlando. What we have here in Polk County is an event called Jeepin' with Judd, is when a bunch of Jeeps get together with mud and whatnot, and they do a bunch of Jeep things. This Jeep was at that event, and there was mud in every little crevice. Later on in the video too, you'll see me really going hard at the undercarriage, trying to get all this stuff and mud, just crud, out from under it. The wheels definitely took a hit, especially with it being a couple weeks after that event. You can see immediately as the P&S brake buster hits the wheels that it just starts turning brown. And that's just because it is mud and just crud and everything else you could think of that would make these wheels dirty. It's on there, and that's why we had to give a lot of focus to it. Now granted, my wheelbarrow brush won't fit all the way through, so I'm really doing the best I possibly can, but I'm really taking a lot of my focus on the wheel wells. And with the wheel wells being the way they are, I can really get even further into the chassis itself to get the rest of the mud that I can't see like on the outside, but can see from the inside. Right off rip, you can see that this Jeep is just dirty, especially with it being white paint. That dirt just sits on the surface and is one heck of an eyesore. Like I said, this thing is just muddied up from the event it was at, so obviously there's going to be a bunch of mud everywhere, and we really tried to focus on that in this detail in particular, especially with me getting under the undercarriage and trying to spray as much mud out as I possibly could. I really needed an undercarriage sprayer thing that you see people like the Detail Geek use and stuff. That would have been one heck of a great tool to have in this particular detail. And the last thing we're going to do while we're pre-rinsing the vehicle and thoroughly going through it is focus on that wheel that is on the back of the Jeep. That wheel is just as much visible as every other wheel on the car, so we definitely want to make sure we take care of that one and clean it up just as nice as all the other wheels. With the foam cannon and brush section being done now, we're going to go ahead and clean up, re-foam down the entire Jeep, pull out my wash mitt, and give this thing a nice thorough hand washing. car is nice and clean now, definitely, but because there was just mud plastered everywhere, right there in the door jambs, there was dirt piled up. What I should have done was taken the pressure washer during the pre-rinsing stage and just sprayed out every single door jamb, but I was just way too caught up, like in the moment, I guess you could say, really, with just getting all of this mud off. I was really down deep and into it that I forgot to do the door jamb. So I went ahead and took some degreaser with a microfiber towel, and thank God it wasn't gunked up or anything. It was just like dusty kind of dirt. Sprayed it down, wiped it off after I got done drying off the vehicle. P&S Bead Maker, you guys know I love this stuff, and any given opportunity to use it, I use it. I just do. This stuff is just amazing. I always harp on it every single video, and if there's one thing that it can for sure do is make white paint gloss, especially if the white paint has been abused by mud and dirt, whatever the heck you want to throw at it. This stuff really just puts the cherry on top of every single detail, and every customer's happy every time they see it because it's just so glossy. One cool thing about Bead Maker 2 that I actually really love is whenever you get a vehicle like a GP or an older RAV4 or any kind of vehicle that has an extra wheel on the back, you can take that Bead Maker and put it on the wheel, especially if the wheel is painted, and it'll just bring it to a glossy finish, so that way it kind of matches the whole exterior of the car. So with all that being said, guys, this is pretty much the end of the video. This is really all I have. What I'm doing right here is I'm using Bead Maker on the exterior window, so that way even more gloss is applied to the vehicle. Just an extra added touch that's really nice, and especially on the windshield. It doesn't just make it glossy, it makes it extremely hydrophobic for about 30 days or so. It's really cool. But guys, I'm so sorry I don't have those ending cinematic clips. I mean, 2 days ago when I recorded the voiceover part of me looking for those clips and I couldn't find it, I still haven't found it. Like, I don't know where those things went. But overall, if you did like the video, please show me by leaving a like, and if you like car detailing content, please go ahead and subscribe and ring that bell. That way you know every single time I upload. I upload weekly here, and it's not just detailing content much anymore. I always do at least one detail video a week, but I do other stuff like car photography and whatnot. You can check me out on Instagram at caleb.inc if you're interested in that. And I have a little project car that I just got too that I'm going to be sharing here with the channel, so be on the lookout for that. It's a really cool one. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for spending time with me once again this week, and I will see you guys next week with another video, or 2, maybe 3? Not 2. Okay, see ya.